Let's look at piecewise functions. Many functions, if I have a function f of x equals, it's a set of directions, tells me what to do with any value of x that I happen to have. In a piecewise function, here's my piecewise function, has two different parts, two different pieces, if you will. One that applies to values of x that are less than or equal to 2, and one that applies to values of x that are more than 2. So a piecewise function divides the domain into pieces, divides the x values into pieces, and I'm going to do different things depending upon what my input value, what my x value is. So for this function, suppose I want to evaluate what's f of -1. The first thing I'm going to do is look at my x value. When x is -1, I'm going to look over here. -1 is less than or equal to 2. -1 is not more than 2. So I'm just going to totally ignore this bottom piece here. -1 is less than or equal to 2. That puts me in the top piece of the function. And I'm going to use 3x minus 1. Here we go. F of -1 is using the top piece. 3 times -1 minus 1. -4. Or not -4, -3 minus 1 is -4. I was one step ahead of myself. And there's f of -1. We don't even have to look at the other piece of the function at all, because it doesn't apply when x is -1. What if I want to evaluate f of 5 for this function? Again, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my x value when x is 5. 5 is more than 2, so I'm going to look at the bottom piece, and I'm going to totally ignore this x is less than or equal to 2 doesn't apply, because here x is 5, which is more than 2. So for this one, I'm going to use the bottom piece. I'll say that's 5 squared plus 2. 25 plus 2 equals 27. And I shouldn't tell you how close I came to saying 5 squared is 27. 5 squared plus 2 is 27. Maybe the interesting one is, what if I want to evaluate f of 2? Again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come up here and say, well, is 2 less than or equal to 2? Or is 2 more than 2? Well, 2 is 2. 2 is equal to 2. There's the or equal to. That puts me in the top piece. So to evaluate f of 2, I'm going to go with the top piece. 3 times 2 minus 1, 6 minus 1, which is 5. And there's f of 2.